Have you recently purchased a new or used vehicle, or perhaps you're researching for a new or used vehicle, but you're wondering how to set up and use all the technology that we find in a driver's information system and the infotainment screen? If so, you're at the right place. Hi folks, I'm Nathan with Two Guys in a Ride, and today I'm going to show you how to do just that. But before I do, take a moment to give us a like and hit that subscribe button down below. Let's get started.
Today we're working with our friends at Snell Motors in beautiful Mankato, Minnesota.
All right, welcome to our detailed video on the 2020 Buick Envision with the Premium 2 trim level on it. So, up on the dashboard, you have analog tach here. You've got a digital oil pressure. You've got your driver's information center here. You've got a digital voltmeter, and then an analog engine temp and analog fuel gauge. Okay, moving on back to the steering wheel. Over here, you've got your cruise control functions and your heated steering wheel. So what you have is cruise on or off, and if you turn it on, you get a little emblem, of course, in the dashboard that tells you that it's on. You get your set is down, resume is up, and then over here, if you push once, it cancels the cruise, and if you push and hold, it gives you the option to go between adaptive cruise control and just regular non-adaptive cruise control. Okay, this is your gap setting. So you can adjust how far or how close you want to be from the front car with your cruise control on. Okay, now over here you have a voice command button, and then you have your phone on or off button right here. Moving over to the right, you've got, this is media, like favorites, up and down. And then over here are the four cursors plus a check button to control the driver's information screen. And then you have volume down and volume up right here. All right, so let's take a look at the driver's information screen. So the way they've done this is they've given you some up and down arrows, and then you can see the little LEDs on the left and right. Okay, and if you look closely, you can see a couple of other ones that are not lit up. Kind of shows you how many screens there are. So right now, I'm gonna use the left button right here because I can see a left arrow and a right arrow. So if I go left, I'm gonna get all of my different little options here. So I have options, navigation, phone, audio, and information. Okay, if I go over here to the right, I can reset things. So let me go back here. So we'll go back, we'll start at the top with info. So I press the check mark button, and you see my up down arrows, and I've got a right arrow and a left arrow. Now if I press the left arrow, I'm just gonna go back to the main menu, just like that. So I don't wanna do that. Say I have trip A, average fuel economy and average speed. Now if I click the right arrow, it gives me the option to reset it. So I'm not gonna do that, I'm gonna go back here. I've also got up and down arrows showing up. So either way I go, I'm going to have some different screens. And as they go, those little LEDs on the left and right, they go down around the green circle. Tire pressure here, timer, and then speed signs, following distance, so it tells you how close you are to the car in front of you. And then it gives you a blank screen right before it brings you back to the beginning, which I like, because then you know, oh, yep, I've been here before. All right, let's go back to over here. Let's go down to audio. If I push on audio, now I get AM, and well, I'm on FM radio, and I've got the volume turned off, of course, because I don't want it on. If I scroll left or right, if I go right, I can choose my different media. If my phone was hooked up, that would show up there as well. Okay, I'm just using the left arrow to go back. I can browse. Okay. Left arrow is a back button, and I can look at favorites, which I don't have any of. So I'm going to go ahead and click that left arrow one more time. If I go down, I'm changing the radio station. Let me turn down the volume. Okay, let's go back again. Let's go down to phone. I don't have my phone hooked up, but if I did, you would have some arrows showing up here that would allow you to see incoming calls, incoming text messages, you know, all that kind of stuff. So that's where that is. If I go down back here to the left, go down one to navigation. Well, your turn-by-turn directions will show up in here. I kind of like the graphic there. That's kind of neat. All right, and then we got one more. We got options. So come down here to options. I'm clicking the check mark button. Okay, I'm going to use my up and down arrows first. So I've got sport. That's the theme. Okay, I got, this just tells me I got 10 of 12 pages here. All right, speed warning is disabled. If I click the check mark, I can enable it. Okay, if I want to change it, I go to the right and I can set the speed. So watch that again. First of all, it was disabled when I came to it. So what I did is I pressed the check mark. Then I went to the right arrow. And then I went down. It was on disable. I went to set speed. And now I can use my arrows to set the speed. So if I want my limit set at 65, then I can do that. And all I have to press is the check mark to confirm it. And now my speed warning is enabled at 65. So now let's use the down arrow, or the up arrow. You can use either one. I'm going to use the down arrow. Okay. Here you can get the information on your software that's on the car. Go down another one, heads up display. This is where you change some of the things on your head up displays. So on the heads up display, in order to change something, you're gonna have to click the right arrow, not the check mark button. I wish they'd leave it consistent, but you can raise or lower the HUD. You can change the information in the HUD, and then you can make it bright or dim. And when you get it set where you want, just press the check mark, it confirms it. All right, let's keep going down with the down arrow here. Here's how you can change the units. If you want to change the units, again, you got to push the right arrow, and then you can change it to US or metric. Okay, we'll go down again. Display theme. So this, what you're seeing right here with the big digital speedometer is the sport theme. If I press my right arrow, I have one other option, and that is touring. And if I hit touring, then you get this display. Okay, so it's very very different. It's kind of interesting. Wow, yep, that looks really different. And then again, you can just rotate through your different things. And if I want to go back up to just basic information for most of your driving stuff, you're going to be in info here. And then you can just scroll up and down to find everything. But all right. So that's the driver's information screen. Next, we're going to move over to the infotainment screen. So up here on the infotainment screen, you've got an 8-inch screen, and you got your hazard buttons up here. You've got lots of physical buttons, your radio, tuning back and forth, home button, different kinds of media, the tone, and then a back button along with a menu, and then a power and a volume. And then, of course, everything's touchscreen as well. I do find it interesting that they have all this digital, and then there's an analog clock at the top. But it's just a different touch, right? It's a different look, so it's nice. This one will turn your parking sensors on or off. This one, if I put it into drive here, is your park assist. So you can select, do you want to do a right angle or a perpendicular, and then left side or right side, and then it'll start searching. It will help you park. Okay. Over here is your auto start stop defeat. This one will turn on or off your lane keeping assist, road departure mitigation, that kind of stuff right there. All right. So let's take a look at the infotainment screen. So first of all, let's go to home. All right. So as is typical of any screen, this works like your smartphone. You have different apps that you can click on. Okay. In addition to that, you have a left arrow and a right arrow, which means there's more things off to the side here and off to the side over here. So you can use the arrows, or you can use this and scroll through. You can see if I go slowly how it highlights each one of them. Okay. And if you turn it enough, it goes to the next screen. All right. So over here you've got an arrow pointing up, and if you click on that, of course, you get your different XM channels that are just kind of hiding there, and you can pop them up to use them, and then you can just click anywhere and they disappear. All right. So up here you got outdoor temperature. You do have a digital clock as well as an analog clock. You can use this button here to set the analog clock. Okay, it's just kind of a push, and it moves. You have to do quite a few pushes, I think, but it'll work. All right, so let's talk about where things are. First of all, your audio. So if I click on there, I get just a plethora of things, all right? So first of all, up here, these are shortcuts, okay? Think of them as apps on your phone. So this is music right now. I can switch to phone. I can switch to navigation. I can switch to text messaging, and I can switch to the camera system, all by just pushing there. Down here, it tells you that what mode you're in. So this is FM. And then you have some selections right here. You got radio, you have other media, you got tune left, tune right. So I can change the station here. I can also type in a number. I can just hit exit. Okay. So if I'm in the radio, I click on that and I get all my presets right here. Okay, so I can just click on something and that's what it will do. Change, so you can see it changing over here. I can also take and just scroll down here. My hand was kind of blocking it, but if you go up there, it'll make show you the station in a little circle, which is kind of cool. Okay, so that's how you get to your FM stations. All right, if I go over here, I got to browse. Okay, that's where I was already at. It gets a redundant button, and then they've got a menu button. So here I've got tone settings. So this is where I can do bass, mid-range, and treble. Okay, I can also just take and change the location of the sound. Okay, I'm gonna hit the back arrow for a minute. Auto volume. Okay, if I do auto volume, the faster the car goes, the louder the music gets. The slower the car goes, the music automatically lowers. And you can set those. You have different categories. You can turn RDS on, which is radio data information. So like if there's a road closure or something, it will sometimes tell you that. It also streams like the name of the song and everything, the artist and that kind of stuff along with it. All right, so I'm gonna go over back to home for a minute. Okay, so that's audio. Phone, I don't have a phone hooked up, but this does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and Bluetooth as well. Okay, so nothing shows up, but this is where all your phone information, your dialing, you can see this. You get your keypad, your recent calls, your contacts, and then voicemail and different phones. And this is where you would pair a device. All right, if I go home again, okay. Projection, this will have to do with a USB device. This would be like your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Okay, and once you program, then you'll actually get Android Auto or Apple CarPlay app showing up. All right, navigation. This does have built-in navigation. It made it quite simple. You've got the zoom out, zoom in, destination, and then a main menu. Okay, so you can resume to somewhere, navigation, voice preferences, current location, traffic, map view, routing preferences, display places of interest and icons, personal data, a waypoint. Any one of these you can go into. Let's just go into one of them, map view. I can have a 3D view, which is checked up. I can have the heading up. I can have the north up. I can have audio information off or on. And I can have day-night mode. That's auto, so the screen automatically gets brighter or dimmer. Okay. I can do turn 3D buildings on or off, and auto zoom on or off. Now, auto zoom, what that does is you're getting close to the intersection where you're turning, it zooms in on the map to let you see a little bit more clearly where your turn is. If you turn that off, the map's going to stay at the same distance that it's at, and it won't zoom in for you. And it's really helpful when you're navigating to have that zoom in. It's just kind of a good visual clue. So I'd leave that one on, but that's me. Okay, you know, the zoom in and out work really nice. Okay, really just a quick, it tells you how many miles you're zoomed out. All right, let's go back here. Settings. Now, under settings, you have, this is where you can set the time and date. Set time, set date, clock display. Let's hit clock display. I can just say I don't want the clock display and it turns off. Click it on there, it shows. Click on set the time, it got simple arrows to adjust everything. And then your 12 or 24 hour one. Okay. Rear seat reminder. This reminds you to check the rear seat so you don't leave something in there or a person, different languages, and valet mode. teen driver, radio, and let's take a look here at vehicle. Now this is where some of your safety things are. So you got climate and air quality, so you can adjust what, when you hit auto, what is the fan speed? If you have the auto heated seats, do you want those on or off? And if you have them on, they just sense the ambient temperature, and if it's really cold, when you start the car, they automatically turn on. Same thing with auto defog, auto rear defog. The ionizer, it makes it a little better for breathing, and you can turn that on or off. Currently it's running. Okay, if I go to collision and detection systems, here I can select the alert types. I want beeps or a safety alert seat. Now the safety alert seat is on, and what was interesting is I was pulling up into this parking spot here. Rob came out and was about 15 feet off my rear fender, and the right side of my seat buzzed. So it's what we call haptic feedback. So instead of just having something beep or sense at you, it actually vibrates the seat on the side where it's sensing an issue. So that's just really cool. Forward collision system, I can have it off, turn it just to alert, or alert and brake. I'd suggest we leave it there. Right? So this will automatically brake for you. Rear cross traffic alert, on or off. Adaptive cruise go notifier, on or off. Then lane change alert, on or off. Okay, so those are some of your safety systems. Let's talk about comfort and convenience for a minute. Okay, auto memory recall, on or off. Okay, so if you turn that on, it's going to remember certain features in the infotainment screen that you had on as you left. Easy exit options. That's a really nice feature because when you go to shut off the car, your seat goes all the way back, and then this one has a manual telescope, but it at least will adjust your seat all the way back for you so that it makes it easy to get in and out. Okay, you can even change the chime volume that you hear. Okay, so if you don't like how loud things are chiming, that's where to change it. Okay, hands-free lift gate control. Off. You don't want to use the hands-free at all. On, open and close. On, open only. You want to physically close it. Okay? A reverse tilt mirror. Okay? So, when you put it in reverse, right now, the mirrors they don't do anything. If I turn this on for driver and passenger and I hit reverse, both driver and passenger outside mirrors will tilt down. If I do it here, just the drivers will tilt down. Over here will be just the passengers. Right? So it gives you a little better view of your tires. Now with your 360 camera system, I'm not sure you really need that, but it's there. Okay, rain sensing wipers, turn them on or turn them off. Okay, a couple more down here. Auto wipe in reverse gear, so that'll be on or off. Okay, and then extended hill start assist. Okay, extended hold, so you're going up a hill and the light turns green and it takes you a little while to get from the brake to the accelerator. Well, extended hold is going to keep your car braked for much longer until you can get to that accelerator. Now, eventually it will give up and it will start to roll, but it'll hold it for longer than the standard hold time. And I don't know what those times are, but I would just leave it on extended. All right, so that's all under comfort and convenience. Okay. And then finally, let's just take a look at lighting. You've got vehicle locator lights on or off, so when you hit the remote, the lights beep or blink at you. And then exit lighting. Okay, do you want it to stay on for 30? Off completely, close the door, everything goes off. You want it to stay on for 30, 60, or 120 seconds. All right. So that was all under vehicle. Of course, you got Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, voice, display, return to factory settings, and software information. Let's click on display for a minute. You can calibrate your touchscreen in case it ever, I'm clicking right on the icon and it isn't doing it. Calibrate the touchscreen. And if your vision and eye coordination is slightly off, it's going to calibrate to where you think it should go right. And then you just save it and it'll work then like it should. All right. So if you ever mess up too much, you want to return to factory settings, you can do that there. Home button again. Of course, down here you've got weather. which is awesome. Hourly, 5-day en route at your location somewhere on the map, or again, you can just take a look at the menu. Weather advisories, configure weather alerts, and the map legend. You can configure that. Very handy. Okay, texting. Okay, if your phone was there, you could see your text right there. And let's go back again. You do have OnStar. The OnStar will help you with road assistance. It does come with a subscription when you buy it new. If you don't, you have to subscribe to it if you bought it used. But it does like roadside assistance, emergency phone calls. It'll automatically call 911 in case of an accident. Some really neat stuff. Okay, so let's swipe over here. This is a tri-zone climate control in this car. So here you have the rear, and you can raise or lower, sync, turn the rear on or off. Okay, put it on auto and adjust the fan and the mode, all from up here, but you can also just let the passengers do that. Okay, but if in case you want to do it, you can do that. Okay, the camera system. So it has a really nice camera system. You get the 360 on the left, and then either the front or the rear camera on this side. So this one shows you the little blue sign on the front. So that's the front camera. I'm right at a wall, so that's why that's there. Now if I hit the rear, then I've got my rear view camera, and of course this does have dynamic swivel guidelines. And then the last one will turn those guidelines off. So a very nice camera system. All right, you can also get information on traffic. Okay, according to right where you are, which is awesome. Okay, you do have some apps that you can download, and you would need to go to I want to say it's buickapps.com, but I'm not positive. And it'll give you a list of, you type in your car, and it'll tell you which apps are downloadable for your car. And then, of course, you have My Buick app. And My Buick app will do things like help you to locate your car and where you're parked. It'll do the auto start for you. Various kinds of things. So that's nice to have on there. All right, and then we're showing one more screen, but it just comes back to this one. All right, so let's move down here real quick to the climate control system. These are actually touch screens. So if I click on the upper temperature here, the red, I can raise the temperature. If I click on the blue, it'll change it. And it does have three-stage ventilated seats on both sides and 3-stage heated seats as well. Okay. Now, over here you have got all of your different modes, your defrosters here, your fan speed, and then a couple more modes right here, and then recirculatory AC. You also have auto, and then a physical sync button, which I really like that they put a physical sync button in. And of course, just a power button that shuts then everything off. And then down here, you've got traction control button. All right, moving on back from that, of course, you got the nice cup holders. You do have electronic parking brake right here, which is simply just pull it up to activate the parking brake, and then push it down to deactivate it. But you do have to have your foot on the brake. Okay, this is a wireless phone charger. And it kind of hugs your phone, so you kind of got to tug it out. It's got some little rubber bumps in there that help grip your phone. But if you do it, put the back side of your phone facing the front of the car. And then you got to wait a second, and boom, there it goes. Now it's charging. If you put your phone in the wrong way and put the back this way, it's not going to work. So make sure that the screen is facing you, and the back is towards the front of the car. All right, I hope that this has been helpful for you. Thanks for watching.